How we doing, everyone? It's Wednesday, so it's time for the Ravery Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. So if you're watching us now, we appreciate you here. You are, I always call this, y'all, nerd season. Okay? So if you're doing this tonight, there's no football, there's no Ravens football, there's no Orioles baseball here. So if this is what you're doing tonight, definitely congratulations. You are one of our sports nerds that really like this stuff all year round. So we want to thank you, all of you, for joining us here live on the Ravery Sports Podcast. All right, couple housekeeping things here we want to go ahead and take care of. RaverySports.company.site. So definitely check that out. If you haven't yet, definitely check it out. Check out RaverySports blog.com. So definitely too, if you want to go ahead and check out, we're blogging every morning. Yesterday's blog is about was about the firing, well, not the firing, the resignation of Mike Tomlin, the Ravens ending your press conference. We're going to talk about that a little bit here tonight as well. Also, to Genesis Notary Services /Facebook.com. I just finished notary work just before I came on the stream tonight. So I just want to thank all of you in the Winchester area. Thank you, signing agency, yes, for sending me my check. We appreciate you there as well. So I want to thank you, anybody in the Winchester, VA area. You know, definitely to all you Hanley grads, all you Shenandoah grads, all you, even you James Wood, Millbrook, and all you grads. Definitely check us out here. Genesis Notary Services. We will come out to any of those areas and go ahead and get that squared away for you. See, Charles Harris, we are LegalShield.com. So definitely check it out. Best way I can tell you with the Legal Shield is to get a hold of us. Go to put in Harris Legal Shield, Winchester, Virginia. It'll pop up immediately on Facebook. So definitely check that out. Check us out on there as well. We'd be happy to go ahead. The national championship game. We're going to go live for the national championship game on Driving to the Top Productions and Ravery Sports Podcast. We're going to be talking about that a little bit tonight as well. Indiana looks serious. Like Indiana doesn't look like they're playing around. I mean, these games aren't even competitive. So, but we'll get to that as we go along here as well. So we'll definitely go check that out here as well. So let's go ahead and get it going here as well. So we're going to absolutely talk about. The Ravens end of year press conference as well. So now that the Ravens season is over, traditionally, Coach John Harbaugh and in more recent years, Eric DeCosta, used to be Ozzie Newsome, go have the Ravens end of year presser as well. So we go ahead and we go over that. But this year, obviously, it's a little different. There's no Coach John Harbaugh anymore. Now, looking out here, looking for a head coaching job. John Harbaugh is interviewed in Atlanta. John Harbaugh is interviewed in several different places as well. So John Harbaugh is no longer the coach of the Ravens. So obviously, he's not at the press conference here as well. So John Harbaugh no longer the head coach. So Steve Bisciotti, it's been quite a while since we have seen Steve Bisciotti at the press conference for the Ravens. Years ago, when the Ravens first had a football team, that the end of year press conference kind of always started with the owner, Art Modell, used to always do the presser with Ozzie Newsome, Ted Marchibroda, and then Brian Billick after that, and just kind of do the end of the year thing as well. In recent years, Bisciotti took the place. Well, before that, the Bisciotti took the place of Art Modell as principal owner. So those three started doing end of year pressers as well. In more recent years, Bisciotti hasn't been doing it. It's just been John Harbaugh and Eric DeCosta pretty much as well. maybe you see Sashi Brown in more recent years as well. Used to have Dick Cass, used to be president. So you had those, but obviously with Harbaugh gone, now you got now have Steve Bisciotti back explaining the firing of John Harbaugh. Fascinating stuff. Obviously because there's obviously a change coming. So, end of year press conference. I thought overall Steve Bisciotti was very candid, surprisingly so. Most of these guys, business guys like Steve Bisciotti, very measured in the way they speak sometimes. For the most part, during this was really not that. Very comfortable, saying how he felt. Really, I thought was pretty candid in how he felt about everything. The only real question I thought during this whole thing that I would say that he kind of dodged is when he was asked about Justin Tucker. He kind of ducked that one. He really didn't want to talk about that. What was your feelings on what happened with Justin Tucker last year? Da da da. He said, "Well, I really just referred to Eric DaCosta and Ozzie and those guys." That was really the only one, but talked about several things. Eric Bisciotti wasn't happy. He said a couple things that got John Harbaugh fired. The downward trajectory of the team, which is absolutely right. So a couple years ago, you're in the AFC Championship game. Last year, you're in the divisional round. This year, you missed the playoffs. Team not going in the right direction. He said that factored in. And you always do what he did, at least he said, what you do when you have a decision like this. He has a lot of respect for John Harbaugh, et cetera, but sleep on it. All right. Sunday, he kind of felt like that was it. After the game, after the result, waited Monday, kind of slept on it, see, well, if I kind of feel the same way about it as well. Tuesday, John Harbaugh got fired. This is the Tuesday after the season. John Harbaugh gets fired as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens Tuesday evening. He got fired over the phone. Now, a lot of us would say and did say, hey, John Harbaugh deserved better because he was a coach for so long, coach for many, many years. Where was the face-to-face firing? The short answer is what he would describe was basically by the time he got there, John Harbaugh had already left. So, right. So he didn't want to just call him back just to let him go and fire him. So he might as well just say whatever you got to say over the phone. He's like, I didn't want to go ahead and do that. I do think a part of it was difficult to do it face to face as much as he didn't say that. I think that had to be a factor in because I'm sure with all the success the Ravens have had, John Harbaugh's had, he's got a lot of respect for him. That's hard to do. That's hard to do. So he really, but that's so he did explain that, which is surprising. He didn't like just go past that. He did go ahead and explain why it went down, why it absolutely went down like that. So why Harbaugh got fired. He was very, very, Eric DaCosta looked very uncomfortable, I thought, during the whole thing. EDC, obviously, it's easier to be comfortable with John Harbaugh is kind of in the same boat. But with Steve Bisciotti there, he looked a little more uncomfortable. I thought Eric, who is not quite a Mike Elias level, like in terms of ducking and dodging, not quite that, but not as forthcoming as obviously Bisciotti was as well. I did say about EDC, he did talk about free agency more than I've ever seen him. That's good. I think that's definitely a hole that Eric DaCosta has with the free agency as well. He didn't really say much about because in recent years they haven't done anything with free agency. They haven't really done anything as well. Free agency. So it's good to see Eric at least talk about, hey, maybe we need to change this. Maybe we need to go ahead and look this. A lot of people talking about Lamar Jackson. I think the Lamar has no control narrative is a bit much for what Steve Bisciotti said at the presser. Steve Bisciotti basically, when he was asked a question from one of the reporters, he said, "Well, is Lamar the central figure in the organization?" He corrected him several times and said, "No, Lamar's the quarterback. Lamar's the quarterback." So I think that's negotiation in my opinion. I think there's a little bit much more made of that than what it was. Lamar will have input. Lamar was talked to before the firing of John Harbaugh. He did talk to him beforehand. He did talk to a couple of other vets. He didn't name. Obviously, he was asked about Lamar, of course. And I think that was standard procedure. He was honest about that. I think Brian Bilkey kind of gave a different answer back then. Well, I didn't. No, he was honest. He said he kind of talked to some of the vets about it and see where they were with it and kind of understand that. So I think that's a good thing to do. He talk to his players, talk to his organization, it's his decision, but you want to go ahead and speak to others. No big. I thought that was decent enough as well. A couple more things in the presser. He himself, as owner, Bisciotti, 10 more years as owner. He did say he does not want to leave the organization to his family. So his family is not going to be succeeding him. He's going to go ahead and sell in 10 years. So then maybe give that actually about 5 years, if it is 10 more years or whatever, to go ahead and do that as well with that. Coaching search, big thing that I did notice, and a lot of us noticed, he was very candid with the coaching search as far as getting a coach who had previous been a head coach. So the Robert Salas, the Kevin Stefanski, the Mike McDaniels, who had an interview, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know how much I believe that. That could have been just smoke. Why? Again, he is an oppressor. One thing you do is sometimes you are in the middle of a negotiation. So it is possible that I kind of didn't buy that part like as well. I do think he's looking at, I'm kind of thinking he kind of knows what he wants. You don't make a decision. You don't get rid of a John Harbaugh after 10 years and then knows what he wants as well. He said he did speak to John Harbaugh several days later. They did have a long conversation for about an hour. He said on Thursday as well. John and him spoke. I think that's all good. I don't think John's going to say anything bad about the Ravens and everything like that. He had very good things to say about the Harbaugh family as well, and looking for a head coach. I'm pretty sure he knows what he's looking for here. Pretty sure he knows what he's looking for here as well. So I think that's the first order of business. Go ahead, find a coach, and then work on the Lamar extension and get through the draft as well. Interesting to hear from Bisciotti. I think it was to me, and it is. Check it out on the Raven Sports Facebook page, Twitter page. It's on its entirety. It is refreshing to hear the candor that we usually don't hear from the owner, etc. So I thought that was fascinating as well. So, and you can read about it on our blog sites here at Raven Sports, blogspot.com. You can definitely check that out as well. All right, talking about the pressers. Right before I came on, my daughter said these people have big noses. This AI picture here, they have big noses. I don't know as well. Maybe they do as well. The awards. So let's go ahead and as we recap 2025, the Ravens press conference next week, we're going to talk about Ravens free agency. Who's free agency? A lot of people got some of these eye on the free agency. Some of the Ravens players will go over that as well. Who on the Ravens is free agents? Then we'll get free agent targets and all the other fun stuff. But last year, you're in a year and after the season's over, what Ravens won awards as well? So this is not an official awards. This is just our awards, Raven Sports Podcast Awards, on what we think who was the best as far as the Baltimore Ravens go in 2025. Hold on. Okay, there we go. That was at the end. All right, best special teams Raven as well. So, who was the best Raven on special teams? This was pretty easy to go ahead and do. I think it's more than obvious. Tyler Luke might have been on this list had it obviously not been for the end. So, I think that was not too bad. I think Tyler Luke, for the most part, I think he's kept heat, obviously, because of the missed field goal. But Tyler Luke bad, I don't think. You got to say TJ Tampa and Jake Hummel. I have them 3 and 2 on here. TJ Tampa is a pretty good special teams player. One that led the team in special team tackles, second on team testing tackles, right there. Jake Hummel. Jake Hummel probably was everything they expected when they brought him in. Solid special teams leader, wedge buster, coverage guy. That's exactly what you got with Jake Hummel as well. And the best, though, was Jordan Stout. Jordan Stout, I think, was the best punter in the NFL this year. He really helped the Ravens out a lot. Had a rookie kicker this year. His punts, offense not quite as good, was booming punts all the way down the field. Glad to see that he got a national acknowledgement and everything like that. All pro, best punter, and I think in the entire NFL, Jordan Stout for the Ravens. Most improved, baby. So who got better this year? Rasheen Ali deserves some. He made the roster. John Harbaugh was very intent on keeping him on the roster and carrying 4 running backs. So that's good. He's not bad. I think on a different team, different scenario, he'd be playing more. I think he's a good. He's kind of what coaches like, in my opinion, a good combo guy. He's not maybe great in any one area, but he's good in several areas. So coaches like a guy like that to come off the bench. You can put him in and plug him in, etc. Trenton Simpson, look, talk to moving Roquan on this because Trenton Simpson looked really good. Like Trenton Simpson really improved. Didn't win the job out of camp, lost the starting job, went back to the bench and during the season got a lot better. Had 9 tackles in the last game against the Squealers. Played well, I thought, during the course of the end of the season. Trent Simpson really developed. Trent Simpson, I think, is one of the really has a bright future as well with the Ravens or some other team after next year, maybe a free agent as well. But number 1 was Nate Wiggins. I think maybe it was more noticeable with the regression of Marlon Humphrey a little bit, but Nate Wiggins, I thought, was their best chest-to-chest corner as well. Put him on an island, put him on your best corner, man-to-man. He always had the athleticism. He looked more fundamentally sound, more in place. The only negative I have with him is he's a bit reckless at times. He needs to watch his body a little bit. Like, stop diving for stuff that stop. Other than that, that's really good. Nate Wiggins is really, really, really good this year. I thought most improved Ravens, best assistant coach. I gotta say Tyler Santucci, because the inside linebackers were really good. I thought that was one of the best units. Roquan Smith really got off to a slow start, but that was it. Trent Simpson and Tyler Buchanan really played well, I thought, down the stretch. I thought they were really good as well. So I thought it was a good coaching job by those guys. Really impressed to how much better Trent Simpson got during the course of the season. I was impressed with that. Greg Lewis, former Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver, now wide receiver coach for the Ravens. Zay Flowers getting better was also very impressive. Zay Flowers, I really saw it during the course of the year, not just running that 9 route, having a feel for it, looking like a real vet, kind of reading the coverages from the wide receiver position, going to the spot, knowing what the defenses are, really contributed to his success. Obviously, he's got that great speed, but good job by Greg Lewis getting it squared away as well. But number 1, Chuck Pagano, it's beyond me why you didn't consider giving him a big role as well. I thought the DBs were the best group on the team. He's an experienced head coach with success, experienced defensive coordinator with success. Not show Chuck 65, but I'm giving it to Chuck Pagano. best assistant coach for the Ravens as well. Best Ravens rookie. All right, best Ravens rookie. Easy enough to say the two top picks, Malachi Starks and Mike Green. Mike Green, I thought, still needs to develop a bit. Got better, still needs to develop a bit. So he's got to get a little stronger as well. When he can bend the edge really and get around guys, but he wasn't getting home. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Owe. You know, you get the sack, yeah, but you got to take the guy down and get there. And that's kind of the thing. Malachi Starks, I thought, got better during the course of the year. I thought he was a little bit in over his head early as well. But I thought he got better during the course of the year. I'm not feeling bad at all about Malachi Starks. I think he's kind of getting a bit of a bad rap with some of the year he had. But Malachi Starks, no problem with this next to Kyle Hamilton going forward, having him. But Teddy Buchanan, I thought was fantastic. It's too bad he had the injury during the course of the year. But this guy is really going to be a force for him. Interesting to see, again, mentioned Roquan. Him and Teddy might work. I mean, these guys are really good. I thought as well. Buchanan, I thought this was the best rookie, even though it was shortened a little bit with the injury. I like Teddy Buchanan as well. Might have had Tyler Loop all the way up until the last day. So there's that. Best free agent trade. Yeah, I got DeAndre Hopkins. I think that was about what I expected from DeAndre. I didn't expect. I think some people, you see the name and you expect this all-world great receiver. They use him, I thought, exactly the way they were going to use him. I think right down in the red zone, in spots, keep his legs fresh. I had no problem with that. I thought him and Bateman, I thought their issues, I didn't think it was just because of their productivity on the field in terms of, or the lack therefore of, if you want to put it, was because of things they did. I thought a lot of it was just because of the scheme and all that, etc. John Jenkins, honestly, I didn't love him as much as some people did as well. I think this type of player, I think if you can behind a Travis Jones is about right. I think he played more than he probably should have. Gives you nothing in pass rush. I think it was part of the problem. He's an outstanding run stopper. Outstanding run stopper. Definitely huge size. Definitely Ravens signed him to a 1-year extension. Absolutely no problem with that. But it's like a second pass rusher kind of come in as well. Or if you have edge rushers and him, but he's great. But John Jenkins, I got no problem with that. Played more than he probably should have, and actually played decent as well. Did exactly what he was there to do. Chibi Owusi, I think, was the best corner. You could say he was the best corner on the team. You can really do. Look, he wasn't even supposed to play a whole lot. Jair Alexander was there. Marlon Humphrey was there. And maybe he sees the field as a fourth corner. And I think he was fantastic as well during the course of the year. I thought Owusi, him and Nate Wiggins on the outside, they looked really good covering receivers as well. I got no problem saying the best free agent addition was Owusi. A little disappointing, that group overall. Not those guys in particular, but overall, didn't get a whole lot there. Best defensive play. Roquan kind of got off too slow a start for me to put him higher than that. The defense wasn't nearly as good this year. I mean, obviously, they're all gone now. Zach Orr and the coaching and all that other stuff. I would put Roquan there. Roquan, I thought, was good. The question is he $20 million good? Like, when you're making that kind of money, you want somebody to be great. Like, so he's taking up a lot of the cap. I thought Roquan was solid. I don't think it was, some of the stuff I heard was just a little bit ridiculous like this. He's not Ray Lewis. I don't think it's a fair thing to say. But I thought he was decent enough as well. I have him number 3. I thought Travis Jones was 2. Travis Jones has been really good. I think people are just realizing it and waking up. Definitely without Matt Abuke there with the injury, with the career and possibly career-ending injury. I think that was the thing. I was hoping that was the one question during the presser where there was somebody was asked about Matt Abuke. But I don't think we got any information there on that. But Travis Jones, I thought was good, getting doubled a lot. I thought he was playing a little bit out of position as well. I love to have him at the nose. I love to have him at the nose, his natural position. You're going to get more pass rush from him than you would a John Jenkins as well. But Travis Jones has been really good. But Kyle Hamilton is the best safety, I think, in the NFL. Some not as many big plays as you would hope a little bit, but that's about it. Missed some games, little nicked up play tough. He really showed a lot of leadership too. So I was really impressed with Kyle Hamilton and his leadership and all that, et cetera. So I really liked what we saw from Kyle Hamilton. Most valuable Raven. The media selected Kyle Hamilton. I have him at third. As good as he was on defense, I thought he was definitely your best defensive player. That's further than I would go. As well. I thought he really ratcheted it up when they actually moved him really away from the true safety, the inside linebacker. But that's further than I go, making him most valuable Raven. Derrick Henry, I thought outside of the slow start was terrific. He almost walked away with the rushing title as it was. The big problem is they didn't run the ball enough. Even with that, didn't run the ball enough. But Zay Flowers, I thought, was the straw in the drink. Fantastic stuff. Grew as a receiver, really sucked up all the oxygen. Had 1,200 yards, just about. Lamar only had about 2,900 yards. The yards were down. He had like 1,200 of that. So he was fantastic with all the quarterbacks, Tyler Huntley included. Definitely, no question about it to me. Most valuable Raven was Zay Flowers. There you go. All right. So those are the award winners. I really thought Zay Flowers, was the best Raven this year. All right. Divisional round. So the divisional round used to be when we had the NFL, we had 3 divisions. And so you had one team that was a wild card, and they would play in the division because the divisional winners were playing each other this week. Nowadays, we have 3 wild cards. So definitely teams, you got division winners, you got the biggest division winner in there as well. But that's why this is called the divisional round, because it is for the division winners. The next step, obviously, the AFC and NFC Championship game next week. We're going to cover that. All right, playoffs. I was wrong in a lot of my picks, obviously, but I think the right team won the game. Rams and Panthers, 34-31. Rams first. The Rams still haven't looked great to me as well, but they're doing enough to win. They're going to score. You're not going to hold them down for the whole game, and that's kind of what you saw offensively with them. They're going to score obvious points as well. Panthers were able to hang in with them. I think, look, I remember hearing this years ago when the Bulls faced the Heat and got smoked in the playoffs. Years ago when they had Pat Riley, maximum effort, maximum results. Panthers got maximum effort, maximum results. 8-9, did the best they could. That's about all you're going to get from the Panthers as well. Bears and the Packers had to be feeling good for the Bears to actually get that win over the Packers as well. Bears are the real deal. I don't know what's wrong with people when they say they don't like Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, I think, is an outstanding talent as well. He's clearly listening. He's still got some developing to do as far as his percentage, but that's the only negative that I see with Caleb Williams. The defense isn't great, so we'll see how they do in this next round. But I think the Bears are for real. Packers, I think, need to make some moves in the offseason and try and get there. I see a good, solid playoff team for a couple years, and they're kind of wasting time to me. That's what kind of like when they lost Micah Parsons, when they did try that, that really just did them in as well. Bills, Jags. Jags, I think, good team during the regular season. I think there just is. I thought about Matt Trigger when he said on the open mic, there's a difference between a Trevor Lawrence and a Josh Allen. Trevor Lawrence was a good college quarterback, really good NFL player, good at times, but Josh Allen is a thoroughbred. That's the difference. In the critical situation, exactly what Matt said. Josh Allen took the game, and Josh Allen is the reason why it's there. So definitely to Bills over the Jags as well. Oh, by the way, you people that are mad about the interaction with the reporter, y'all need to get over yourselves, grow up. You reporters are not that important. Like, just stop. Saying something nice about the coach, just stop. Eagles and the 49ers, biggest upset I thought of wild card weekend. I don't know. I got nothing for you why the 49ers keep doing this. They score, they play hard, the defense is Swiss cheese, they're still winning. Well, Eagles just Super Bowl hangover, I think. They just couldn't get on the same page. They seem less motivated. I don't think it's as bad as people seem to think it is with the Eagles. Because it's hard to win back-to-back. That's what happened. Chargers and the Patriots. Let's get some smoke for Herbert. He has never won a playoff game now. He's been in the league a long time now, and he's got smoked again. He's out again in the first round as well. Pats are what they look. This is a good defense, Pittsburgh, that they have in New England. Nobody ever talks about how good the defense is. This is a good defense that they have. Also to Texans and the Squealers. Texans finally get a win. Tomlin's going off into the sunset as well. Texans just have a better football team. Steelers are just not a good team. They're an average team. They had a good coach. They had good effort. That's about it. Divisional round. Rams and the Bears. So Rams, I think we all expecting. I think these are two of the best coaches in the entire league. Ben Johnson and the Bears, and Sean McVay as well. The problem I think I have with the Bears in this is their defense against that good offense that the Rams have. Puka Nacua is fantastic. They do have a problem in the secondary. Devontae Adams, I think, is really, really good. Yeah, man, I think you got some problems. If you're the Bears, this is hard to call. As the whole playoffs have been, I do like the Bears at home. The Rams haven't looked good on as far as a whole game, so it's kind of hard to tell because they're not consistent for a whole game for whatever reason. They play good at times, they score at times, and then they have these lulls, and in defense they look good, and then so it's very close. I take the Bears at home over the Rams. 49ers, I have no idea why they're here again. I keep saying that. This is the best. To me, Kyle Shanahan is the coach of the year. He can make any quarterback look good. Anything. Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, anything. He hasn't had Ayuk all year. He's not going to have Kittle in this game. His offense will show up. We know this. Their defense concerns me against the Seahawks. Stop joking about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is a top 10 quarterback this year. So he's been really good. I like the Seahawks as well. I've been saying that whole year about the Niners. I can say this. This one would be one of the better coaching jobs I've ever seen if the Niners actually get all the way through, and if it already is. But I don't like them against the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks defense does keep the score down as well in this one. I don't think you score as many points. And I think the Seahawks offense is really good. They really their wide receiver and Jigba, Sam Darnold's been really good for them. I think it's enough to go against a depleted Niners team. I think this is the most intriguing matchup of the divisional. The Bills and the Broncos. I think this is the Bills. I think have the most pressure on them because a lot of people are expecting Buffalo now with no Lamar Jackson, no Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs to actually go all the way and go all the way through. So we'll see about that. Broncos are the number one seed. Sean Payton has been there before, has had a good team as well. I don't know, man. This is hard because I don't know if the Broncos can do this when the lights are bright as well. And I've been doubting the Bills because, again, there's not a lot there in Buffalo. The receivers kind of, Cook has really been good for them. Offensive, okay, is really good. Defense is okay-ish. And then, but Denver, you kind of have the same problem with the other side of the ball. So Nick's solid. I'm thinking leaning Buffalo because of what happened last week with the Jags. I think in a critical situation, and this is going to be close, that I think I like Josh Allen better than I do Knicks, even though Knicks has been good in the fourth quarter in the regular season. Now let's see in the playoffs. But I think Buffalo is the better fit. New England and the Texans as well. Shout out to the Texans getting out of the 4:30 spot, getting a night game, went over the Squealers. Patriots, I think the Patriots are terrific defense. I think that defense is very, very underrated. Nobody talks. They don't have real stars per se, household names, but Christian Gonzalez is fantastic, even though he's been banged up. Harold Landry is fantastic. They've had Milton Williams there earlier. He's been banged. I mean, they are as solid as you get as well. I don't know if the Texans score a lot on the road in this situation. I guess they're not playing Pittsburgh this week. I'll say this: if they get through, this defense is going to be considered a top 10 defense of all time. The defense is legit. Their two edges, Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson, are fantastic. And so I think the defense is good. I don't think they have enough firepower against the Pats. There you go. All right. So got football there, divisional rounds and everything else. We got one more football game before we get to the Terps, which have been terrible. So we got the national championship game. We're going to go live after it's over on Driving to the Top Productions and on Ravery Sports Podcast. 13-2, the Hurricanes against the Indiana Hoosiers. This game also, too, even though Indiana is the higher seed, so they'll be considered the home team, but the game is at Hard Rock Stadium where the Canes actually play. So the Miami Hurricanes are getting a game in their home stadium. Mario Cristobal, head coach of the Canes, is going against the Hoosiers as well. Fernando Mendoza, who is from the Miami area. So lots of layered here. I'm sure on the sidelines we'll see Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp. They're going to try and bring out all the stops of history. They're going to need more history against these guys. Carson Beck, I think, is fantastic. Been good this year. He might have moved himself into the NFL conversation again as well. 350, 35, 81, 29 TDs, 11 picks, maybe a little bit higher than you love. But they've been running the ball, and that's kind of what they've been doing. That's kind of what they do there. Mark Fletcher, very solid power back, good in the red zone. 199 carries, 180, 10 TDs. I think this is what they're going to have to do if they want to have a shot at all, is to go ahead, take the ball in the red zone, run the football, keep this guy. It's going to be hard to do against that very, very, very good Indiana defense. Malachi Toney, the reason why Carson Beck has had more success, I think you got a first two-round receiver, Malachi Toney, almost 100 receptions, 1089, 9 TDs. It's been fantastic. These ends for Miami are terrific, led by Ruben Bain, who's for sure going in the top 10 of the draft. Eric DaCosta. Take a look at that as well. Barreto Fernando Mendoza on the other side for the Hoosiers. Last year played at Cal, number one pick in waiting. So this will be the last pick, I think, the last time we see him in college. For sure, going to go to the NFL draft to be the number one pick as well for the Raiders as well. Almost flawless. 33-49, winning the Heisman Trophy, 41 TDs, 6 interceptions. With the line that they have in Indiana, it's almost impossible to get it. You look at Maryland's running game and look who's running the ball for Indiana. Like Roman Hemby, 211, 1060, 7 TDs. They kind of have a true back. I think Hemby gets most of the cake as well. That line is so really good. They're going to run the ball a lot. They also have 2 really good receivers. Omar Cooper, 64 receptions, 866, 13 TDs. Elijah Stein, I definitely think he's going into the early in the draft as well. 62 carries, 803, 15 touchdowns. Look at the receptions. Their top 2 receivers with 25 of the 41 touchdowns by the quarterback. Incredible stuff as well. I definitely don't think the best case scenario in this game is I think that Miami becomes Ohio State, that they actually get a chance to actually become the team that gives Indiana a game, that the defense is so good. I don't think so. I think Indiana rolls. Like, I've been convinced. I think like some people are shocked because they haven't watched Indiana, frankly. But their whole season has looked like this. Short of at Oregon, short of Ohio State. I think at Penn State, I think it was somewhat close. But 16-0. Definitely like the Hoosiers in this game. Definitely will recap it on Driving to the Top. It'll be good to see that as well. Real quick, Ole Miss, Miami over Ole Miss in the last game. I think Ole Miss maybe wins this game. I thought if they would have had Lane Kiffin, etc., in this game. And look at that, 56-22, Indiana over Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl. There you go. Wrong way. Let's talk a little basketball real quick. Terps. Yeah, man. They lost last night to UCLA. Let's go over the game to USC. They played 2 games for travel reasons. I'm sure of it. So you go to Pauley Pavilion, you go to the Galen Center. This one was on Saturday. Elias Sanders was pretty good at this one. I thought this was the best offensive output I've seen him do as well. So this is the problem. They're getting it from here and here and here. Elias Sanders is good one game and then he's not. Salman Wash is good one game and then even Salman Wash here didn't score in this game. 4 points, 12, had some. He's not a consistent player offensively at that level. I think Darius Adams, I don't know why he's not playing more. I think I do know. Defensively, he still has some work, but he scores. I mean, he only played 16 minutes in the USC game, and he had like 13 points, 12 points. In this game, he didn't play as much. He had 13 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He can't find a rotation. He's really struggling with that. The guards for USC really tore apart the Terps. 16 points, 2 rebounds, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Trent Perry was great. The best in this game, I thought, was Eric Daly. I thought this was the best game he's looked all season. 15 points, 9 rebounds. I thought he was good with the jumper all night in this one as well. And Donovan Dent as well. I don't know if that's right spelling, but he had 8 points, 7 assists. The Bruins are not quite an elite team in the Big Ten, especially because you got a lot of really good teams in the Big Ten. Purdue, Michigan State, Illinois, Nebraska this year is really good. I mean, so you have a lot of good teams, but UCLA tournament maybe, but not quite there. Terps are not tournament. Terps are not NCAA tournament worthy as far as that goes. Buzz Williams, I think the best we can hope for with the 7-10 start is he installs a system and he plays his players and get his system in. He wants defense. That's clear. Watching him watching Buzz Williams do his thing. All right, shift the baseball. Pitchers and catchers are going to report pretty soon, and so we're going to start our top 10 list. Who are the best 10 players at each position, all the way down? First base, catcher, etc. I can say all the positions. Catcher, first base, second base, third base, shortstop, left, right field, center field, DH, starting pitcher, relief pitcher, and the last one, manager. So, who is in the top 10? Spoiler alert, no Adley. Even though he was number 1 last year. Tragic. Number 10, Patrick Bailey. A nod to Patrick Bailey as far as in the top 10 of this list. Shout out to him. This guy is not a good offensive, not a passable catcher as far as offensively. To me, this guy is easy the best defensive catcher. So he's in the top 10. I think, of one of the most important, if not the most important defensive position on the field, the catcher, and he's the best defender in the league. He does everything well. He frames well. He calls games well, and he throws guys out with probably the best frequency as well. So I think Patrick Bailey, is definitely an asset for the Giants. I absolutely have him in the top 10. Number 9, Hunter Goodman. With Rockies players, you're kind of worried about their offensive output as far as numbers being inflated a little bit because they are in Colorado. So you look at his what he does, 31 home runs, etc., 91 RBIs. So it's kind of inflated, but I think this guy can hit. So but he is in Colorado, so I'm not quite sure. He's had a couple years like that, so definitely I have him at 9 a bit. Number 8, Austin Wells. I don't love defensively as well, and I think he's still developing. So this is a bit of a prediction. Austin Wells, I think the best is yet to come with him as a catcher. He only hit 219, but he's still really young as well. 26 years old. So I think we're going to get more from him, 219 in that Yankee lineup. Definitely this is a developmental pick. I think his numbers last year aren't reflective of what he's going to do this year and going forward. I think he's going to pull that batting average up with more time. Alejandro Kirk, the Blue Jays. Watching the World Series, this guy was really one of the eye-openers. Fantastic stuff. The Blue Jays have not been in the World Series if it wasn't for this guy's production, timely hitting, good stuff behind the plate. Obviously not body beautiful, right? Bit of a dad bod and all that other stuff. Guy can really hit. Alejandro Kirk, I thought, really was a guy, was really one of the real leaders for them, for the Blue Jays as well. So I thought the Blue Jays really did well getting him as played well in the World Series, played well all the way through the playoffs. This guy was kind of written off too in previous years. So he was really pretty good last year going forward. So definitely worthy of top 10. Definitely a guy who probably wouldn't have been there last year. Yander Diaz for the Astros as well. Some may disagree with that. I still like him. Not his best season last year. I think that was the case for a lot of the Astros. I like him defensively. I really am impressed with the way he plays defense as well. So that kind of gives a nod to that. I think, again, kind of like Wells, the offensive production is going to be there for him as well. 20 home runs, 70 RBIs. I think you could see better from him, but Diaz, I thought, definitely have him in the top 10. Kind of same for Contreras. I thought, though, he's better than Diaz as well. There's a lot of lists I saw last year that had Contreras as number 1, had a bit of an injury. So I think him healthy, I think you're going to see more from him. 260, 17 home runs, 76 RBIs, 150 hits. 147 hits. So he's this guy can hit. I think he might be one of the best bat to ball catchers as far as offense in the league. Sal Perez. This is just plain power. Like nothing else to like here. Want my 30 home runs, want to hit it over the fence. This is nothing else to like. Not good defensively. Who cares? He's going to get me 30 home runs. He's going to be good protecting Bobby Witt in the lineup. Sal Perez, outstanding. I think that's the only reason he's not higher is because he can't play defense as well. Shea Langoliers, I thought I can't wait till he gets to the new stadium in Las Vegas and really see where this guy becomes. I think this guy could be an all-star this year for Sacramento. I think 30 plus home runs is definitely in the offing. I think he's definitely a good power hitter behind the plate. I think he's very good defensively as well. Very, very good. You see catchers, I think too many of them kind of regress a little bit once their offense kind of picks up. It seems like they don't do as well, but Shea Langoliers, I think, is definitely solid. Number 3, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Number 2, Will Smith. Smith, I think, I think definitely too. He's the word that comes to mind with is consistent with this guy. Definitely too. Hits over 300. Hits over 300. Calls good games behind the plate. I think there was some doubt if he was the best, but definitely too. You look at a guy year after year after year. If he's good, there's no question about it with Will Smith. He's really good. So 296 last year, 17 home runs, 61 RBIs. Outstanding stuff for the Fresh Prince. And number 1, there is no doubt. Nobody's going to argue me. We posted. It's Cal Raleigh, number 1. Cal Raleigh, I think not for Aaron Judge, who was the MVP last year. I thought he was just hitting way out of the park. I thought he was fantastic. Not a lot of intro needed there. Kyle Raleigh over 50 home runs. He's a good defensive catcher as well. He's not just a hitter like like Sal Perez. I think you could definitely put him in the top 5. One of the best power hitters in the league. Period. One more segment as well. And I don't think I have it here. I'm gonna go get it. The spring training is coming up soon. So we're going to go over fantasy baseball. We're going to go over some things as well. But the battles are starting, right, for spring training. So which players are going to start for the Orioles in spring training? So obviously they've been active in free agency, as we know, which we're all happy about. Signing Pete Alonso, signing Taylor Ward, signing Ryan Halsey, getting back Andrew Kitchers, etc. Getting that squared away. No way, man. Getting back Ryan Halsey. So which guys are going to be in spring here as good players? There you go. And who's battling for what spots where. So sometimes in some of these things, well, we know some of these guys we know are going to be guys that start for us for the Orioles in 2025. We know that. It's not loading, yeah. And it doesn't want to load here. Let's try it this way. Let's try the share screen method here at the end. Trying to keep this under an hour, but yeah, so it's like this. So let's get that squared away. Oh. All right. All right. So there we go. So, all right, for you as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, who would be the starting catcher for the Orioles in 2025? Who's going to go ahead and start for the Orioles in 2025? So, obviously, you got Adley Rutschman, formerly top 10 catcher, former number one overall pick. Is he going to get most of the reps behind the plate or Sam Basayo? I think definitely a rookie of the year candidate. I still think it's going to be Adley at the start. Still going to think it's going to be Adley at the start, who's going to get most of the time, etc., behind the plate. I definitely think that's the way to go with him. That he's going to get most of it behind the plate early as well. It'll be interesting to see. I definitely think both of these guys will start. I don't think there's any question about that, but I definitely think the catcher will be Adley if he was to ask Craig Abernathy as far as who's going to start, and Basayo would back him up as well. First base. Now, backup first base, right? So Ryan Mountcastle and Kobe Mayo as well. I don't think there's any question whether these guys are going to be on the major league roster. I don't think there's any question about it. Kobe Mayo and Ryan Mountcastle is going to be both on the major league roster as well. I don't think Mountcastle could be moved, but I definitely think when a backup, have him be that backup first baseman. I definitely think they're fine with that. Kobe Mayo, I think, can be used as bait. I think he has more value as far as on the trade market. I think this is why you're hearing a little bit more with Mayo. They're talking Mountcast, but I really think they're fine moving Kobe Mayo as well. So, but I definitely think short of that, they'll both be there. I think they're going to find a roster spot for Kobe Mayo and Ryan Mountcastle as well. Mayo may have to actually play some third base here in this situation as well. Designated hitter, Sam Basayo, Kobe Mayo, and Ryan Mountcastle as well. Everything I'm seeing is going to be Sam Basayo starting as the starting catcher. Would you start a catcher, a rookie, as a DH for the season as well? I think they would. I think it could also to be Kobe Mayo as well. I think Kobe Mayo actually has a shot actually at that spot, at least at the start of the season as well. But everything I'm seeing, I think it's going to be Sam Basayo, at least at the start as well. This is the most legit starting issue I think that is going in. Right field, Dylan Beavers and Tyler O'Neill. Dylan Beavers, I think, is definitely who the organization wants to start. I thought he looked fantastic at the end of last year. Dylan Beavers, I thought he was really good all season long. Tyler O'Neill, I thought was not good had some injuries, but you look at the totality of his major league career, certainly this guy's at 30 home runs, over 100 RBIs, which is why the Orioles signed him in the first place. So I think you can keep him healthy. I think we really don't know what we're getting from Tyler O'Neill as well. I think this is a legit spring battle. I think whoever looks the best will start. I really do. I really think every time I say Dylan Beavers for going to start, I'm going to lean towards Dylan. But he always mentions the that Tyler O'Neill's getting. That's a real thing. So we will see who gets that gig here at the start as well. Number one starter, Kyle Bradish and Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers was terrific last year, most valuable Oriole. Kyle Bradish was, I think, considered the best starter now in the organization. Now we will see what happens. Ranger Suarez is now off the board. If it's not Framber Valdez coming in, I think it's definitely going to be one of these guys. I think it's going to be Trevor Rogers just based on what he did last year. It wouldn't shock me if they started Kyle Bradish on opening day, though. But I do think it's going to be Trevor Rogers at the start, I would think, based on the season he had. The only concern was he wasn't very good in the last start. I kind of noticed he kind of dipped a bit as well. But Rogers was absolutely terrific last year. I think he's definitely deserving of an opening day start. Number 3 pitcher, Dean Kramer, Shane Baez, and Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin is back as well. Baez is here. And Dean Kramer. Kramer is, I think, the odd man out if they actually get another starter, because I don't think you're moving any of these other guys. I mean, you just signed Zach Eflin. You just traded for Baez. So the only spot left would be Dean Kramer. And I don't think you're going to move one of the first two. So I do think he's the odd man out if they bring somebody else in. I think it is going to be Shane Baez to get every opportunity to be your third starter to anchor the second tier group as well. They moved a lot to get him. Former high draft pick. I think they moved a lot to get him as well. Eflin, I don't have a problem with him as a fifth starter. I mean, he was your opening day starter last year, so I had no problem with him as a fifth starter. I think he's fine when healthy. Just can he be healthy enough for the whole season? But I thought he was just fine. So you got 2 former Rays as well. Dean Kramer, I think he kind of is what he is. I think he's a good innings eater, kind of this version of Daniel Cabrera. He's going to give you decent starts in innings, and that's about it as well. Who's going to go in the 8th inning? We know Halsey is in the 9th. Ryan Kittredge and Keegan Aiken. I really do think it's going to be Kittredge in the late innings as well. I think they are going to look at Keegan Aiken as well, but I'm kind of thinking they brought him back for the 8th inning. I thought Kittredge, I think both of these guys were closers at the end of last year, but I do think they consider Kittredge a little bit more than Keegan Aiken as their 9th inning guy. There you go. Minutes late. Thank you guys for joining us here for the Ravery Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. We'll see you Monday for our Ravery Sports instant reaction to the Hurricanes and the Hoosiers. Y'all have a great day.